Bright and early MLB starter grades and bets here on the Justin Perry Show. It is Saturday, June 28th, and I figured, might as well deliver on what it says there in the bottom corner, advanced stats. And breakdowns. Yeah, breakdowns. That's it. Every morning with a smile. All right. We had a good day yesterday. If you tailed every bet, you had some fun. If you were wise enough maybe to leave the athletics alone, you had even more fun. I was sitting there with half of my head of hair on the floor after they loaded the bases and couldn't get our 2 runs in yesterday. Warren gave them every chance. But that's a good bet still, even though it loses. And I'm okay with that, even though I'm making a point of it in the first 30 seconds of the next day's video. Believe it or not. We'll leave it there. We got another good one and maybe even more volume. So I'm sure some of you probably think I'm crazy. I think we played 20-something bets yesterday for baseball. We had another 3 WNBA props, went 1 and 2 on those, and then I had an abysmal 1 and 7 day on Betcast for like a loss of 5 units. So we won it. We got it in baseball, but we took it in WNBA. Sorry. That's betting. We've been good in WNBA. We've been all right in baseball. We can handle it. So happy Saturday. We got a fun slate. Everything starts early on Saturday, so not much time to dawdle. I think, a lot of people want to get those bets in. They got stuff to do. They're going to watch the games. They don't want to sit around waiting until 10:30 a.m. A whole family wakes up. They can't watch a video. So let's get it published before 9 a.m. Justin, let's go. I got all my bets in already. I believe it's 28 of them. So I do apologize in advance. I believe it's 13 games, so 13 angles, and I've played 28 bets on the 13 angles. So do however you please, do what you think is smart. This is how I've played. I do not promise that we're going to win. I do not know. I think this gives us a good chance. What I think gives you a very good chance compared to trying to pick the best bet. I think this also, makes things more manageable. You play a lot of bets, you're just more likely to trend towards your true average faster in time, not in bets, but in time. Obviously, it's the same in bets. So, and that's good, and we'll get into plays in a second. That's good, and you can just skip stuff, of course, to video. Because you don't want to invite variance. You don't want to say, oh, well, I'm up 6 units on 30 plays. I must be great. You just don't know, right? And it creates a lot of uncertainty. I much rather say, oh, I'm very close to even on 100 plays, but I know what I know, or I'm very close to even on 500 plays, but I know what I know. I know that much more about my market than someone with 30 plays does at 300 plays. And that's more valuable. And that's what we do here. That's the principle of what we do here. And of course, we follow a very expected metrics, rigorous adherence to expected metrics, trusting them to be more predictive long-term than what we see on the field. So without further ado, I will remind any new viewers about our grades, which I have 3 of. Right now, what you see on the screen is just basic stats: ERA, WHIP, SIERA, FIP, XFIP, and some strikeout rate. Some people like strikeout rate. It's not color. There's no color on it because I don't include it in anything, but it's there for you guys. People ask for it a lot. People play strikeouts, so I understand. To the left, I hide the pitcher list metrics, the advanced pitch level metrics that the team over at PL have made so easy to pull from their site. If you're a member, highly recommend it. And of course, this data is free. Like, you can just go to Clark Schmidt's page on pitcherlist.com and find these values. But to get it exported into a sheet, easily manipulatable, you do have to be a member. Big shout out to PitcherList. So then I made 3 grades from those stats: value grades, performance, and expected market performance. So my expected value grade is a player against themselves. So you see Sears here expected to be better than he is. And that's reflected in the market to performance often as well. But these are 2 different scales. This one, I don't think, market performance doesn't really include pitcher level. JP performance doesn't really include ERA. And then value includes everything. All right. Enough basics. Saturday morning, 5 minutes of blabbering on. I will tweet that you can skip the first 5 minutes if you don't want to just listen to me chat. But that might be the most valuable stuff. All right. Hello. First game of the day. We're going right back to our Athletics, which is funny because I am a lifelong, literally since childhood Yankee fan. It doesn't matter. The numbers on the screen say Athletics. And why? Well, market seeing Sears in there around minus 21. He's not really pitching very well. You can see the 5.44 ERA is going to worry a lot of people, matching FIP. But underneath the hood, pitcher list, the pitch level stuff, a little bit closer to average, a little better than average, actually. 5 is an average where, anything above 5 is good on the pitch level value. And then PLA is a pitch level average applied out to a ERA scale. So expecting around a 3.95 here on the pitch level. So we're going to get some love for him. I think that should do well against the Yankees team that only scored 3 runs yesterday. Showed us that they definitely are a team that can get somewhat shut down. If you took that angle of the Athletics and applied it out to them limiting the Yankees yesterday instead of betting on the Athletics to score, you did okay. But yeah, Warren escaped our grasp. I'm not sure Schmidt will. I hope he doesn't. 2.84, 1.06, expected to be something a little bit closer to like a 4.2 type pitcher, right? So that's a good run and a half of expected difference. So and FIP is there, but like XFIP. So we're going to I think we took 2 bets on this game. We took Athletics first 5 team total over 1.5 minus 120 over at DraftKings, which is my standard book for team totals. I did get a couple on Caesars. It's early, so there's less ability to shop. But also Athletics first 5 money line. I took plus 200. I don't want the run line. I don't care to win the push on the money line. I'll take a push. I want to win the scenario where this Athletics offense, which does have some pop, gets their runs while the Yankees don't get as many for a 2-to-1 price. It's a good price. Should probably be a little bit lower. 175, 165 like yesterday, in my opinion. All right, game 2. Going right to the next one, Detroit, Minnesota. If you're long-term watcher, I haven't changed anything in a long time. I haven't changed any of the sheet facets. I haven't changed how it works. The one thing I want to change maybe is how sensitive this indicator is, because this is the master indicator, in my opinion. It compares performance to market. I'm not sure if it's highlighting enough here. There is value there is value supporting Ober today, and there is value supporting Mize today. Both pitchers are underperforming. Both pitchers have good letter grades. We saw Ober kind of get beat up. This is a good park to pitch in as well. Mize, a beautiful 2.98 PLA, one of the best on the sheet today. Wu at 2.95, 2.82 for Kasperius, who's the best on the sheet. But Mize doing well. Ober underperforming pretty severely to the pitch level stuff. If you want to pump the brakes because, the sabermetric level stuff is on board with his performance, I understand. But I took the first 5 under. 4.5, minus 105 for the game. And then the team total, the team level, because I like to do a game level pick and I like to do a team level pick so I can, try to get on both sides. And this is a little bit more conflated. I took a team total and a total, so say as well. Minnesota first 5 team total under 1.5 plus 114 at DraftKings, betting on Mize more directly there. And again, I like the Detroit offense. You'll hear me talk about it a lot. I do use my personal, offense rankings and perceptions of the league to color my bets a little bit, not too much. I really just trust this stuff. But when it's coming down to Ober's still a -6. There's probably value on the game total, but I'm not going to go and trust him to shut out the Tigers today. I have a little bit more hesitancy there. Still a -6. Probably, getting a decent price, but I like to include that more in that first 5 under with both pitchers to sort of, fold in some value from Mize in there as well and not isolate Ober. I don't feel super comfortable doing that today. All right. This is my favorite game of the day. This is a 4-bet game. It's the first one we've ever had. I'm all in on Brian Wu. 7 points better than expected for me right now in my performance grades. A 10, a B+ grade. Pretty tough to do. You don't see a lot of high grades. It's just very hard. Kasparius getting an A, Soraka getting an A, and then 1 B+. There's literally 3 people above a B. There's no grade inflation around here. That B+ is legit. C- not great. It's a big drop off, and of course, I do have some protections in from when pitchers haven't thrown a lot to not just be so certain from 4 or 5 appearances. Rocker has struggled a little bit, but also hasn't really seen a lot of time. But I still don't trust him. This is the big worry, right? He has a negative quality pitch minus bad pitch percentage. So he's throwing more bad pitches than he is throwing quality pitches or good quality pitches. So there's also the average third, but to be skewed, we know for a fact the needle is pointing the wrong direction, and he is one of the worst in that value today. So we're going to go crazy. It worked well yesterday. We hit the triple, right? We got which one was it? It was Angels. Angels first 5 team total over 2. Washington first 5 team total over 1.5. LAA, WSH first 5 over 4.5. They scored 14 runs in the first 5 or something. So, maybe some reason to start playing up some alts, especially in these summers when we have, there's a lot of money. A lot of teams are scoring a lot of runs. Anyway, quad play, home run. We're going to call it a home run, right? If it's a triple for 3, it's a home run. Seattle first 5 money line and run line. I paid 145 minus 145 for the money line. I paid minus 104 for the first 5 run line. And then I took the team totals in both directions on the first 5. Everything's first 5. Don't know that by now. You accidentally take a full game. I'm very sorry, but it is not my fault anymore. We're literally doing this every day. There. I only place the first 5. I don't want to hear about anything else. I don't have the time. I don't care. I don't want to know about relievers. Starting pitchers. And it works. Seattle first 5 team total over 2.5 plus 125, and Texas first 5 team total under 1.5 plus 100. Both of those two are the only team totals today that I found advantageously over at Caesars. I think DraftKings was holding a Seattle first 5 team total over 1.5 minus 160, which I like as well, but I am going to take the plus money at 2.5 on Rocker against Rocker. You could take both. I think they'll score 2 very easily. I think they'll score 3 more than plus 125, especially considering the 15-cent hold. All right. Next game. What are we? 10, 20, 15 minutes in here. We've covered 1, 2, 3 games. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 plays. That's okay. Might be a longer video. We got 28 plays. So we're getting there. I'll speed it up a little bit. See what we can do. Zach off here. Littell, Little, and Eflin. I like both these guys. They're not playing in Tampa Bay, which is going to help them. Of course, Steinbrenner Field is a very small park, and home runs, you can hit a 385-foot home run, which, still will count in the annals of baseball history as legitimate as hitting one into the Bay, which is crazy. It's crazy. I'm not an asterisk type of person. You won't see me say that word a lot. But man, where the A's and where the Rays are playing this year are just, it's not good for baseball. All right. Baltimore Rays. We saw this yesterday. Baltimore put up 22 runs. Rays were up like 6-0. Thought that one was coming home. I thought we were going to at least push. And of course, Baltimore wins 7-6 in the first 5. We got the team total over for Tampa, so that's okay. I'm going with the first 5 under here, minus 5.5. Both these guys good grades, good pitchers, pitch level stuff looking good, the FIP looking bad, but expected FIP looking good. It's going to be an interesting one for sure. I think you're going to get a little bit of that come down from, all those runs, and it's a short turnaround as well. So lineup's not out yet. It's almost 9 a.m. So hopefully, we can beat the news to maybe some guys resting after taking all those at bats. Who knows? That is part of this play. Baltimore first 5 team total under 2.5 minus 120 as well, mostly because Little is the better pitcher here by most metrics. And I like his performance more. He just gets into that positive. It's going to be a lot harder for Baltimore, who scored 5 runs in 5 innings. They scored 22. So this does have some, I guess, bias to it, if you want to put a star on this first 5 team total under. But I love the game under. That's a better play. I would almost consider the single week here, because it's hard to choose which one is going to be the better pitcher here. Eflin's been all right. Tampa Bay's offense, though, also just better. Mets. We're going to the Mets today. We did really well fading Peterson, but we're going to back Blackburn. He has a 6.62, expected to be something a little bit closer to like a 4.5 type guy average. Falter coming in a little bit of the opposite, 3.6 type ERA, expected to be a 5. PLA likes him. You're not going to get a bad grade because of that. Expecting him to still be doing a lot worse. So we'll go ahead and we'll trust Blackburn a little bit. He's not going to be great, but I still think the Mets are a good spot here, coming off that loss yesterday. Mets first 5 team total over 2.5 against Falter, who we have 10 points worse, and then Mets first 5 money line minus 140. All right, Andrew Abbott has been elite this season. I think he's probably a name that hasn't been talked about enough for the NL Cy Young, along with Logan Webb, but he is in that running right now. If the season were to end today, he is that good. 15.18 is hard to do. It's hard to do, especially because those grades do account for expected things. You have to be like Scooble to get this thing above a 20. Seriously. No one really has market performance above a 20 very often. Luzardo is pretty high up. It's hard. It's hard. So to see someone like Abbott at a 15, we expect a -5. It's a big discrepancy. And then Vasquez also here sitting with a much bigger discrepancy. So we're going to take the over in the game in the first 5 innings. That line was set at 5. So we can push. I took over 5, bet MGM minus 118. And then also focus in on San Diego for the team total over 1.5 runs in the first 5 against Abbott. And I understand Vasquez here, it's a big drop, but also, seen some stuff out of him that I think just eludes. Again, we have that side, but he's been a little bit difficult to really understand. Abbott at the other level, a 1.79, expected to be a 3.3. Again, 3.3 is great. Andrew Abbott's pitching great, but he's also been lucky. Vasquez is pitching somewhat poorly and has been lucky. But again, like the over in general here, you could do this. You can say, all right, well, you combine these, it's like -4. You combine this, it's -37. That's a big difference. I don't have that one mapped out, but that's a way you could look at it. Played those 2. Sorry, it's early. I haven't had coffee. Someone get me a Big Cat and some Stella Blue. All right, Chicago White Sox, San Francisco Giants, over 4 runs in the first 5, and the White Sox to score over 1.5 on the team total minus 110. The first 5 over 4 is pushable. I think also MGM minus 115. Hauser and Ray both on my overrated list. Hauser, one of the most overrated right now, has not been pitching well whatsoever. Expected to have almost a 4.7 ERA, currently sitting at a 2.2 for the White Sox. That'll garner the F. We'll go against that, and we'll also go against Ray. You could probably take the Giants to win the first 5 money line today. They pushed it yesterday for us, which wasn't great. And they didn't score the team total. I expect them to probably get some more runs today. We'll stay on it. We don't back away just because they didn't hit one day, especially when the data says to go. It's a lot easier to pitch at wherever the heck, what's it called? I can't. It's too early. Wherever the Giants play in San Francisco. Very good pitcher's park. Decent pitcher's park here in Chicago. Not crazy, pretty average. That should hurt Ray enough. I do think the White Sox are probably undervalued in general. No one wants to bet them. That means you should want to bet them, just on principle. All right. We hit a Cleveland over yesterday. In Cleveland, we did it. We properly identified Luis Ortiz as being bad, and he was bad. And it was glorious. It's time to go the other direction. Mikolas is bad. A -17. The market has him at a 2. Come on. All things considered, sure, the FIP is nice, but not throwing a lot of good pitches. Just not throwing a lot of good pitches. Not getting a lot of strikeouts. Ball's going to get put in play. Guess what? Cleveland probably going to do okay on that. And they got Maddoxed yesterday? Sonny Gray Maddoxed them on like 89 pitches. I forgot for a second. Beast. 89. It's like that's one of the most impressive outings in the modern history of baseball. 89 pitches. Maybe the field had a little to do with it. It's definitely a place that you want to pitch right now. The Guardians for sure can't score there. But guess what? I don't think it'll matter because Mikolas should be bad enough that we'll get some runs. We'll get the first 5 money line. I paid -122 on the Guardians. I paid +114 for them to go over 2.5 on the first 5 team total at DraftKings. And that is mostly the fade of Mikolas and some trust here of, I think it's Sessioni, Italiano. It's not C, not okay. No, Sessioni. All right, I tweeted about this one today while I was making my plays about an hour ago now. Alcantara, fat. You're not getting value here. I mean, yes, you probably should bet on them to be good, everything considered. But the market and their performance is essentially going to be aligned. They are not doing well. They should be doing better for themselves based on the pitch level stuff. They're not this bad, probably. But yeah, no play there. One of the few games today we do not have a play on. We do have a play on Toronto-Boston. We have 2, actually. We're going to go first 5, over 4.5. Both teams combined. Do not like either pitcher here today. Both C-minuses. Both expected to be doing a pretty serious amount worse than they are. Giolito hasn't thrown a lot of innings. I don't really like his stuff. I don't really like Bassett's stuff. 4.5 over. This is actually it doesn't really matter. It's a great place to score runs, baby. One team could score this very easily. So I also took Boston first 5 team total over 1.5 -154. Again, sometimes lines change. I do send out picks to a handful of people every morning who still pay for them. I'm trying to get them to stop. Eventually, we will have a site for all this, and it will be a lot easier. But as of now, they still are entitled to their dibs. So they get them. Next game, Dodgers. I kept this one simple. I didn't want to take the team total for the Dodgers, like 3.5. Ben Kasparius, best pitcher on the board today by like a hair. I took Dodgers run line in the first 5, minus the half run, -115. And that's it. One play there. Just trust in the Dodgers. They'll win this first 5. I don't know if it's going to be because Kasparius shuts out the Royals. It's not like he's going to fool anyone. But Lugo might struggle. I don't really want to pay into the Dodgers, like their team total on the team level, but I trust the game level that for -115, there's a very good chance Dodgers are leading after 5. I like that. And I don't need the push. I think it was like it was pretty expensive to get that push in there. -150, -152, -160. It's moving. It's minus 150 when I played it. Minus 152 is still around. Again, it's been about 45 minutes. And I can't really, again, make promises. I have to record the video, so when we have, I think I'm going to try to make a site and put the sheet up there. And then if you're like, part of the site or whatever, you just can see the sheet when it's updated, and I'll send an email when it's updated or whatever. Figuring it out. I want my own site. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of everything not being just, I own it, my rules, I do what I want. I've been here. This is going to be my 5th year doing sports betting professionally now. So it's about time. All right. Colorado, Milwaukee. Senzatella on the mound, Mr. Meatball, and Quinn Priester. Both these guys about 14, 15 points worse than expected. I mean, the over 4.5, minus 135 is crazy. I paid that price in a heartbeat. Still out there. Priester's been better, but like give Colorado some respect. So I took first 5 team total over 1.5 on Colorado as well, minus 120. I think this offense is underrated. And you keep giving them minus 120s on over 1.5 runs in 5 innings. That's not their problem. Their problem is their pitching gives up a lot of runs every single time. So we'll keep trusting overs with them. Next game, Atlanta, Philly. This is the best pitching matchup of the day. Come from the worst, go to the best. I love Luzardo. The market's a little bit higher on him than maybe should be, but I love Schwellenbach even more. So I just took Atlanta first 5 money line minus 155. I think Schwellenbach is maybe one of the best pitchers out right now. No one talks about. He's better than Strider at the moment. So he's their ace right now. So this is the ace for the Braves. Luzardo is the ace for the Phillies. No, that's stupid. Take that back. Edit. Recant. That was dumb. I forgot about Zach Wheeler. He's close. He could be. He could eventually be. Luzardo, at least. He has the stuff. I mean, again, we've been seeing it since he was a prospect for Miami. So, all right. Took Atlanta first 5 money line. And I took Philly first 5 team total under 1.5 minus 110. So really trusting Schwellenbach, especially after Philly ran it up yesterday. I know that can be a little biasy, but I definitely think there's a lot of balance to baseball. It's about series. Teams play for series, mental aspects with series. I don't know. I'm a little stitious. All right, last game. Soraka. I like this kid. I'm not a Kyle Hendricks fan. So I took Washington first 5 money line, paid about even money, center 2 more, minus 102. And then Washington first 5 team total over 2.5 plus 124. Just to beat up on Hendricks. I would even consider Washington first 5 run line today. I only do that when I'm very confident and there's a big discrepancy. But I would consider. I like the minus 102. Happy I played that. Let me see. You can get. Yeah, the run line goes their direction. So you have to it'd be an alt. I'm not doing it. The hold will be too high. But all right, good half an hour today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your bets. Games start around, I think, 1:05 with the Yankees, and then it is a rolling evening, a new format that the MLB does now, where it's not all at once anymore, but you have a game on for the entire night, which is kind of fun. I think I missed the days of old where 12 games started at 1:05, and so every 3 hitter was up at the same time. That was fun. That's what my childhood felt like on the old ESPN Fantasy Cast, which still love Fantasy Casts to this day. Fantasy Casts have changed the world, man. ESPN Fantasy Cast is still how I essentially interpret information. That's what you're looking at on this sheet right now. Is basically a fantasy cast, a bet cast, something that helps me visualize data. But all right, we'll be back tomorrow for another half hour. And make sure you check out all the stuff going on over at Shot Quality. You can just, of course, follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with everything important or not important. Tuesday Tuesday night, 9:15 p.m., we're doing our talk show, our basketball talk show called Hoops Chat with me, Max, and Moose. And then next Betcast, even though I did abysmally yesterday, sorry. Next Betcast is Thursday night, the day before July 4th, I think. Yeah, July 3rd, whatever day that is. So me and Moose will be there for that. We'll have a good time. And then, yeah, might want to have Twitter notifications on. I'll try to tweet out some NBA live picks. Oh, I did not show you guys the actual sheet today, the bet sheet, because I know some people like to scroll and roll. All right, here is the full bet sheet. I'm just going to make this look bad for a sec. You'll be fine. How do I do this? There you go. So Athletics, Detroit, and Detroit, Minnesota under, Minnesota first 5 team total under, Seattle home run with the money line and run line with the team total over for Seattle, team total under for Texas. Rays and Baltimore under, Mets side with team total, San Diego Padres and Reds over, Padres specifically targeting Abbott, White Sox Giants over, White Sox specifically targeting Ray, and a triple there. Oh, I maybe forgot to mention that. So there's a triple. Good thing we're here. San Francisco as well, over. So I love the over. Cleveland to get it done, bounce back. Toronto, Boston going over. Boston specifically to score those 2 runs. Dodgers to win that run line is a single play, the only one on the list. Colorado, first 5. And with Milwaukee to go over with Priester and Senzatella. Colorado to specifically go over. I think Senzatella probably is properly priced. Atlanta first 5 money line, as well as keeping the Phillies at bay there with the team total. And finally, Washington first 5 money line with scoring on our friend Tyler Anderson. So thank you so much for watching. Even if you skip to the end, I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, do the whole thing. Try to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season. I think we can do it. We have like 140. So let's go. Maybe we have to do some giveaways just for you guys to use your thumbs. Come on. See you tomorrow.